This is Eva Lee. I am at the State Fair. I am running for Commissioner of Labor, and I am going to do what I promised to do probably about 6 months ago. I'm going to teach you how to find purged voters where you live. So you can knock the doors of people who are likely voters. You might get to unaffiliated voters, but no one's ever going to get to the purged voters. And so I'm just saying, if you want to do voter registration, if you knock the door of someone whose house is listed as a purged voter, if they answer the door, they're either going to be unregistered or inactive. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around. So here we go. I've never done this before, so bear with me. Okay, here's my computer, and I don't know why this screen went away, but let's see. So just bear with me. So here we are. Okay, so the first thing you do is you go to the State Board of Elections of North Carolina homepage. All right, so we have 100 counties. I can't speak for all 50 states, but in North Carolina we have 100 counties. So right here, if you can, I don't know if you can see the mouse. I'll see where to put it a little bit further over. But my mouse is over here at data, right there. So you click voter data, and right here, download data, and it's going to click to another page. Again, I'm not like a technological genius, so I'm just going to show you. So right here, you have all these options. I don't know what all this stuff is, but the one I like is called data. So you click data right there. And then it takes you to either voter history or voter registration. So again, all of the political software, they've got all this stuff dialed in. They know your voting history, probably have your credit bureau, know where you shop. It's all pretty absurd, but they call it the voter universe. But what I'm talking about is the graveyard behind the voter universe, okay? So I'm gonna pick just a random county, like 21. All right, so county number 21, because it would be really nice if they would put the county names on it, but that would be too easy. So I'm just going to go down to voter registration like 21. And what happens is you click it and it downloads a file. So I don't know if you can see the bottom left of my computer. I've downloaded it a couple times because I was just making sure I could do it. All right. The next thing you do is it'll take you to, it downloads it and it takes you to a .txt file, which is like, it's not formatted. So you can look at it and it has these little quotes, and that's how they separate the things. And then you take that and you save it to your computer. So again, where you save it on desktop, I don't care where you save it somewhere. And then the next thing you do is you go to Excel. So actually you have to open it and save it. So you have to open it on Notepad. So I don't know if you can see, but that's Notepad right there. So you open it on Notepad, and then you go to your Excel window. You have to have Excel pretty much to do this. And then it says, import your data as delimited. So county number 21 is Chowan County, okay? And I don't know how many people are in Chowan County, but I'm just gonna hit the next button, next, finish, and then it puts all your data into an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, great, so you've got all your data in an Excel spreadsheet. Now again, I'm not perfect about showing you the whole screen or whatever. You're always welcome to call me or Facebook message me, but at this point it's pretty simple. You click the whole spreadsheet, however big it is, and you get your, I don't know where the commands are, but here's the commands, and then all you have to do is sort, well, it's not giving me sort for some reason, hang on, like this, and you go to sort and filter. I don't know if you can see the mouse way over in the right there. Drop down the arrow and it says custom sort. Okay, so again, we're looking at actual real-time voter registration history for just any county in North Carolina. And I've done this a whole bunch of times. I've probably done this to like 20 counties, right? But right here, all you do is you sort by voter status, reason, description. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. I'm at the State Fair in my booth right now. And then you just sort that, and then to add a level, you've got voter status. I've done it where you sort by the party and to see, by party, but you can do that later. So you sort by voter status, and then you sort by their street address, and then you sort by, let's say, Let's see what else I want to sort by. Precinct is pretty good because you can find your local precinct and find precinct right there. I probably missed it. Let's see. Precinct. Here's party right here if you wanted to do sorting it by party. And then let's see, precinct, it's in here somewhere. So precinct limits it to pretty much people. Here it is, precinct description, what precinct they are. And then, again, it doesn't matter to me. If you want party to be the first thing, you can take the party one and move it up, and move party up to the top, like that's the first thing. And then you can say by party, what are the voter statuses, where do they live, and are they in your precinct? I think actually precinct will be better to move it up one. So you want precinct first and then street address, because precincts, we don't know how they're gerrymandered up or whatever. So these are like 4 sorts. You sort the whole thing at the same time and just say, okay. So then, okay, then it's done. And then the main thing is that the voter status reason description, you can just see right there, inactive, removed. So inactive, oh, I forgot this laptop is touch. I forgot this laptop was touch. But anyway, so here's inactive. And I've done, where you just start with this line number and count the lines and see how many people are inactive or whatever. But the interesting thing is, all I'm really trying to show you is that if you take this inactive voter right here, and it'll tell you why the person's inactive a little bit further over. And the thing that bothers me the most, and again, maybe I should have said this first and say it in a more advertising kind of way, but the fact is, confirmation card not returned right here, this whole column right here, whoops, and that was my phone touching my computer. Sorry about that. But the point is, inactive voters, when it's confirmation card not returned, I'm just going to highlight the field so you can see. This means, and this happened to me, okay? This happened to me. I didn't return my confirmation card, okay? I am suggesting that 1 million people in the state of North Carolina are currently inactive, and then there's other really interesting statuses just for not returning the postcard, okay? So if you knock that person's door, they don't technically have the right to vote on election day. Maybe they can vote provisional. I'm not like trying to argue with the Board of Elections. I'm just saying nobody's going to reach out to these people because they're not even active voters. If you're not even an active voter, what campaign's going to, try and talk to you? Nobody. So for me, I feel like, these people are in the graveyard below the voter universe. So basically, in Chowan County, I'm gonna hit the tab button with my other finger. I'm tabbing over, and you'll see it's got people's names, addresses, and what's interesting is that it actually also gives you their phone numbers. Right? So there's really no mysteries here. Our phone numbers are in there. I think actually our driver's license numbers are now in there, so they can actually pull up your driver's license and see if your face matches your DL like they do at the airport. Like voting is now going to be like flying at the airport. But if you look right there, there are tons of people that have inactive status, and like here's their phone numbers. And so I'm just saying, if you feel like making change, and change happens at the polling place. It doesn't happen necessarily when you write postcards. It doesn't happen at rallies. I mean, change happens. I'm not disagreeing with the whole resistance. I'm just saying that these people live in North Carolina. They could vote in the next presidential election, and they are listed as inactive voters. So I don't know, if they're going to get mail from the party. So again, deceased. You have confirmation not returned. Confirmation returned well, actually you can't see that, so right there on the side there, confirmation not returned, and then if you scroll down, deceased, okay, that's a good reason to be removed. I don't even know what legacy data means, moved from county. This one right here, removed after 2 federal general elections. If you didn't vote in the last 2 presidential elections, you have lost your constitutional right to vote. And I'm pretty sure in the North Carolina and the federal constitution, nowhere in there does it say if you don't vote for the president twice that you're supposed to lose your right to vote. So I really have a concern, maybe there's a federal law, but the point is, constitutionally, a U.S. citizen should have the right to vote. And it doesn't matter how often you vote, but I'm basically saying that this person you could knock their door once or twice and say, hey, would you just like to vote next year? And just for fun, here is, let's see, I think it's on this page. This is actually my Facebook page or something. But I had up the countdown clock, countdown, C-O-U, countdown clock, countdown to election, right? And here it is, countdown clock. And so the clock is ticking, ladies and gentlemen, voters of North Carolina and beyond. The clock is ticking. If the Connor Lamb election in Virginia, special election, 221,000 people voted, and the discrepancy at one point between the winner and the loser was 95 votes. 95 votes. You know, Stacey Abrams spent 5 years registering voters before she ran for governor. I would like North Carolina to do in North Carolina what Stacey Abrams did in Georgia, but we need to do it whatever the voter registration deadline is before the next presidential election. I mean, would we like people to vote in a primary? Sure. Do we need people to vote in the general? Absolutely. And so I truly feel that, you know, I don't know how many off the top of my head voted in the midterm election in North Carolina. I think it was 67% of voters. And I don't know how they're getting that number. I don't know what they consider a voter. I don't think deceased people should count for sure. People who've moved and left shouldn't be counted. I don't know how they're getting to the total number of voters, but I can tell you for sure that the voter universe does not include inactive voters, the Democrats or the Republicans, or especially the unaffiliated. No one's going to hunt these people down. So the next time you consider going to a rally for 8 hours, or a meet and greet, fundraiser, whatever it is, you know, just 1 hour of your time can make change in many, many ways. And I'm just saying, make a commitment to find some purged voters. If you want me to show you how to do this in another state, just message me and I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. This is Eva Lee from the State Fair, candidate for North Carolina Commissioner of Labor 2020.